to welcome very distinguished guest and the speaker of this session, Sister B.K. Hussain. You're most welcome. Good morning, Sister.
Good morning. Thank you.
I request all the participants to kindly join so that we can start the session. It's going to be a very enriching session, and this is seriously something that we brought into this session. Although this whole FDP is technically related, and I must inform dear sister that all these participants are faculty members of various engineering colleges across India, and it's proud privilege and fortune that we have got people from all across the country, down south to east to west and to north. So it's a very good gathering, and I'm hopeful all of us will be benefited today. I Let me just put up a very brief introduction of the speaker which we have today. Sister B.K. Hussain has been practicing meditation as taught by Brahma Kumaris since last 18 years. And she actually did her MBA from NMIMS, and an eminent personality. She has also worked in an MNC before dedicating herself to the service of the humanity, and we are proud of that. She is serving as a Raj Yoga faculty at the Om Shanti Retreat Center of Brahma Kumaris, the largest North Indian campus, and she's there since last 8 years. She also hosts Brahma Kumaris TV programs, lectures, discussion on various topics ranging from spirituality, social issues, health and wellness, yoga, and women. She also conducts behavioral trainings and workshops in various corporate firms, educational institutions, and government, and that is at national and international level. We are indeed very fortunate to have you here today, sister, and we welcome you to this session. It's over to you.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, and a very good morning to all of you. I hope that this session, which we've planned, and it's going to be an interactive session. If you will interact, that will be great. So I understand the topic of your workshop, which has been going on, is waste management and about plastic, and the whole world is talking about it. But there is another thing which gets wasted a lot. And what do you think that is? What do you think that is? That is our time and our thoughts. So if our thoughts are conserved, if our time is conserved, we can actually conserve a lot of things. We would not need so much as we need. And we will be able to manage everything in life. And this is where Raj Yoga comes in. So what is Raj Yoga, where we are? I'm just going to give you a quick introduction, and post which we will do a little bit of a meditation and a relaxation. So let me just try and share the PPT with you. Just a moment. So this, we understand the Raj Yoga, the meditation that we have. It's not about exercises, but it's more about our thoughts. It's mental. So what it really is, first of all, a quick introduction of the Brahma Kumaris. It was founded in 1937, and it is headquartered in Mount Abu. That's our world headquarter, with presence in more than 130 countries of the world. And the basic teaching that we have is of the Raj Yoga meditation, and through which all the other lectures and everything that we do stems from that. Um, so what Raj Yoga is, it does not involve any physical aspect. And to understand, you have to understand what yoga is. So yoga comes from the word yuj, and yuj means to connect. It is a link. So when I say Raj Yoga, here we are not doing the physical exercises, but here we are connecting with the self and connecting with the Supreme, right? So that is simple one-line explanation of Raj Yoga meditation of I am aware of who I am, and then I connect with the higher being. Anybody can practice it. There is no differentiation of your age or any sort of illness, because it is more about the consciousness. If even if you're doing any other practices, it won't hinder in it. You will be able to do your practices or your prayers better if you understand the basic concept of who I am. And it can be practiced anywhere and at any time, because it's actually an open-eyed meditation, so to say. So you can practice it actually anywhere, at your home, in front of your desk, in your office. And the best time to do meditation is in the morning and in the evening. But if I'm not able to do it, it doesn't matter. I can do it whenever I have time. So any time is a good time. And can be started with 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but consistency is the key. So even if you do, 10 minutes every day, or let's say 5 minutes every day, but do it every day and it will begin to have its effect. There is no specific posture or mantra or any sort of precaution, but the only thing is that I need to commit to myself. I need to bring myself into the moment and tell myself that this is the time for me and for me only. Okay, which means keeping your gadgets away, keeping your phones away, and giving yourself a complete time. I'll also share these sites upfront. One is Just a Minute Meditation. This is a site where you can actually go and find meditation which are of 1 minute. They are in English. The text is always there. So because some people ask, what do I think? And very short texts on what to think in just a minute is been given there. You can choose to. These are for beginners, so you can choose to go there. We also have a meditation app called the B Zone. It's free of charge, and it is again helps us to connect. It helps us to change our mood. It helps us to take a mental break during the day. So this again can be downloaded. This again is an app for beginners. So with this, I hope that everyone is in the meeting and we can actually begin to experience and collect our thoughts, let go of the waste thought, and bring ourselves in the present moment. Yes? So shall we do it? Yes. So I will request all of you, I will be giving you some instructions. Let's begin with that itself. I will be giving you some instructions, and I would hope that you will follow it. So I want you to just sit back wherever you are. So if you're moving, if you're on the go, find a place to sit down. Keep your things away. If you are holding anything in your hand, your mobile, your pens, just keep them away. And sit back straight. Put your feet on the ground, your hands on your lap, open. So you can take the support of the chair or the sofa or the wall, wherever you're sitting if you want, but preferably your back is straight so that you are alert. So I take my mind away from everything else. There are many things that you have to do today, or things which happened yesterday. Some of the thoughts are still on my mind. So I take this opportunity to let go of everything and bring myself into the present moment. And let me begin by focusing on my breath. So for a few moments, I will just focus on my breathing, and I will make my breathing deep and gentle. So very slowly and gently and deeply, I'm breathing in and breathing out. And as you are breathing out, experience that all your worries are going out with your breath. As you are breathing in, experience peace. Again, I simply breathe out. And as I breathe out, I let go of my stress. And as I breathe in, I experience peace. Again, I deeply inhale and exhale. As I am breathing out, I am letting go of my fears. As I am breathing in, I experience calm. So I make my breath normal and deep. And now I gently focus on my body. And I let go of the stress in my body. And I loosen my muscles. And I let go of the blockages. So as I sit, I simply let go. Starting from my toes, I clench my toes and relax. Clench your toes and relax. Your ankles, both your legs, loosen the muscles. Let there be no tightness. Completely relaxed. Moving forward, your abdomen, your stomach, loosen it. Let there be no tightness in your abdomen. Further, your back and your spine. Relax your back and your spine. and let there be a free flow of energy throughout your back and spine. Further, your chest, relax your chest and feel that your chest is completely light. There is no heaviness or tightness. Now slowly relax your shoulders, drop your shoulders. Relax both your hands and your fingers. And slowly move towards your face and your neck. So relax your neck. If you want, you can move your neck from side to side. Further, moving towards your face, relax each and every part of your face, your chin, your lips, your nose, your cheeks, your eyes, your eyebrows, your forehead, your head, completely relaxed. So head to toe, my whole body is relaxed. My breathing is deep and normal and breathing gently. And now create a gentle smile on your face. So observe that your whole body is relaxed. You're breathing normally, deeply. Your face is smiling. And in this physically relaxed state, now you move inwards and go within and visualize yourself as a very beautiful being of light, a point of light right in the center of your forehead. This is who I am, a being of light, separate from this physical body, from my worries and responsibilities. I'm light. I am happy. I am at peace. And this is my real self. If other thoughts come to your mind, don't worry. Simply bring your attention back and remember that I am a peaceful soul, a being of light, happy, stable, in the moment. And this is my real identity. Experience that from your forehead, vibrations of peace are coming and spreading all around you. And you're being surrounded by deep vibrations of peace. So wherever you're sitting, you're spreading peace in that room, in your home and offices, and in your regions. And you're centered, stable. All around you is just peace. Hold yourself like this for a few moments, and very gently and slowly, taking your own time, you may come back, but make it gentle and come back into the awareness of the present moment. Very gently, I bring myself into the present moment and back. But what I want you to do, I want you to check your mind of how do you feel in the mind? What is your feeling? Were you able to experience peace even for a minute, for a second, a minute, even for a short time? So I would want you to put it into the chat window. How do I feel? Just summarize your feeling in one word. Yes, may I request you to please share it into the chat window, because we are connecting through the online medium. So we have to share. So serene, mindful, anybody else? Just share whatever you felt or you didn't feel, whatever it is. Just a word, that's all. Because what happens is, I validate for myself that this is what I'm feeling. This is how I feel, right? And the more you share, you're actually spreading it as well. So I would encourage, we are many people here together, more than 80 people, 90 people. So I would encourage you to share into the chat window. It's just one word. So it's relaxed, peaceful, there is a positive energy. So you can just check and put it into the chat window, as some of you have done. Yeah. So it will be nice if more people share and keep sharing. Now, through the day, I ask you a question. Through the day, what is it that I feel, most of us? What do I say to myself? I'll say, oh, I'm so worked up, I have stress, I have to do this, I am busy, somebody did something. But what is it that I am feeling now? I'm feeling positive, I am feeling relaxed, I am calm, stable, happy in the moment. I'm not worrying. So my thought energy is not in the future, and neither is it in the past. Yes, most of it is right now. Yes? Another question to you is, if this is what will happen, if this is my thought energy at the present moment, and if I have to do anything, let's say I have to, talk to someone or make a decision, anything, what am I going to do? How will it be? Let's say someone comes and I have to speak to them. How will I speak to them if I have to make a decision? If there's someone comes and there's a problem, how will I deal with it? Will it be in the same way, or will it be something different? Will it be the same way, or will it be different? If my mind is stable and relaxed and at peace, and I have to do anything, how will that thing be? So will I react or will I respond? Simple question. I'm making it simpler. So would you be reacting or would you be responding? And do you know the difference between reaction and response? Yes? So what is the difference between reaction and respond? You can actually, speak also if you want, It would be nice because I'm sure you are very good speakers. So what is the reaction? So that, we are all connected, otherwise we will lose our connection. So what is respond? Anybody wants to share? What is respond? And what is reaction? So reaction, of course, as rightly said, is that reaction is, it could be positive or negative. It's instantaneous. You'll just react. But response is you're choosing the best response. You are more thoughtful about it. You know the pros and cons. So what happens when we react? What reacts most? Chemicals react most. I remember being in my chemistry lab, and you have a lot of chemicals there, and they say that the chemicals will react if you put some of them together, which means they will react in the same way if you give them the same situation. So anybody could create that situation. It could be a scientist, or it could be somebody, a student of class 7. And if he creates the same situation, those two chemicals will react in the same way. So what happens when I also begin to start reacting to situations, I start reacting to people, I start reacting to things, what happens? I lose my freedom of choice, which means I'm not choosing what is the best, and I'm just reacting. So when I am just reacting, I am not able to give my best, right? And so this is why response enables me to give my best, to choose the best. And that can happen only when my mind is more clean, when my mind is more stable, when I have more and more positive thoughts in my mind. Yes. So there is a question, and I will take up questions. I'm going to take a pause and take up questions. So may I just move forward and we'll take up the questions just in a few minutes, right? So if you see, most of the time, if my mind is filled with a lot of thoughts, I will not be able to respond. Even if I know that's not the right way, but if my mind is filled with a lot of thoughts, I will not be able to respond. I simply react like chemicals. And my thought energy is actually getting wasted. Because when there are a lot of thoughts, I'm not able to put them into practice, put them into practical. Where there is a lot of quantity, the quality obviously will be reduced. And where there is less, it's more powerful and the quality is also there. So you will always notice. You will always notice that whenever there is, when I'm thinking negative, a lot of thoughts will come. It's not one thought. There is one thought, then another, then another, then another. And it's a lot of movement in my head. But when I think positive, when I think divine, I am, slow. My mind begins to slow down. It's not that I'm not thinking. I am thinking, but it's a very less quantity of thought. Positive thoughts are slow and less in number. And that is why I feel more energized when there is just positive thoughts in my mind. Yes? So, thought are the food of the mind. So, somebody was just talking about food, but most important food that I'm giving every day, each moment of the day, is giving food to the mind. So if thoughts are the food for the mind, what sort of a food I'm eating? I want to be, have, create happiness in my life. I try to do many things with my body. I, get the best clothes, I get the best food. But what about my mind? So I may have a healthy body, but if my mind is not healthy, I will not be experiencing happiness in my life. So a healthy body and a healthy mind can give me a happy life. Yes? So I'm just going to take a pause here because I think many people have joined while we were taking the session from the beginning. And I'll just pause here. Is there anything anyone wants to add or say before I move forward? Yes? Or any other question? Or should I just keep moving forward? No question. Oh, all right. So, anyway, so we talk about the digital disconnect. So, one of the things that is very, very important in order to experience lesser, fewer waste thoughts is our input should be managed. So, where is the input coming from? A lot of things that we are watching all the time, hearing all the time, that is my input. And that is going to create those thoughts, whatever I've seen, whatever I've heard. So, creating that time wherein I am doing this upvas or this fasting, these days fasting is very famous. It increases your immunity. But what about fasting for the mind? Do I create those times wherein I'm not at all, watching anything and just being connected with the self? Because if I'm all the time online, if I'm all the time connected online, especially when I'm working online also, and if I don't create these conscious moments, I will suddenly feel that my mental energy is draining out, right? So creating time where I am actually connected to the self and giving my mind a positive thought in the morning every day. So you kick start your day with positivity. I need to check how am I starting my day. If I start my day and I begin to see my emails or my WhatsApp or my work email or just the TV or anything else, or just simply generally talk to people, that's not a very elevated way to start the day. If I begin my day with silence and some meditation and positive thoughts, which could be in the form of reading something which is spiritual in nature, according to your belief system, you may read that. Whichever is your belief system, you read that text, you connect your mind to God and create that silence and then begin your day. Because in the morning and in the night, before we go to sleep, that is the time where our subconscious mind is active. And whatever I feed at that time, that is going to have an effect throughout the day. So if I suddenly wake up in the morning and I have any thought, oh, what will happen in the day? Or if there is a panic, anything, or if there is a fear, that is going to be there through the day. Similarly, when we go to sleep, then whatever I'm watching or thinking or any conversation which I had, if I don't do a proper cleanup of my mind, that is going to affect my sleep. And this is why many people, they will sleep many hours, but they are not getting sound, deep sleep, which means when I want to sleep, at that time I'm not able to sleep. It takes a lot of time to actually fall off to sleep. And by the time I am into a deep sleep, somebody wakes me up, or I know that it's time for me to wake up. And the cycle gets repeated on, which is not very good for the body nor for our mind. So, just the same way as we prepare ourselves physically, I need to clean up my mind at the end of the day, let go, clean it up, and especially if possible, not to indulge in anything digital half an hour before I go to sleep, which means checking my mails or TV or whatever I have, trying to take a break 30 minutes before, and when I get up also 30 minutes after I get up, let me create those silence time, some things for my reflection, for cleansing, for recharging of the battery of the soul. And that is very, very important. So I need to check, what am I feeding my mind? Just as we check our food plates, what am I eating? Is it pure? Is it not pure? So similarly, I should take a watch and check my mind, and so that I have lesser waste thoughts, because there will be some waste, very fewer waste thoughts, no negative thoughts, and more positive thoughts. Because you see, it is not the thoughts which bother us. It's only the waste thoughts bother us. So we know what is a negative thought. Thoughts about anger, jealousy, fear, all this is negative. We all are aware of what negative is. We also are aware of what positive thought is. There is another thing called necessary thoughts. Necessary thoughts are thoughts which are important for that time period. Necessary thoughts are something which is, they're neutral basically. But if you keep thinking necessary thoughts also a lot, they become wasteful. For example, you are in this session for the next, let's say 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And now you attended, but you're thinking many, many things. Where do you think all those thoughts will go? That is the account of waste thoughts, which means I'm thinking something which I'm not supposed to think at that time. It may not be negative. It is something you have to do. Let's say you have to do something, but you keep thinking more and more and more, and it's just a waste thought. If I'm thinking too much, let's say, if I'm planning too much also, then slowly and slowly it gets into anxiety mode. If we am trying to take a lesson from whatever has happened, but if I am not cautious, I can also create a waste energy in that. So controlling my mind with silence and meditation is very, very important. So at this point, I'd like to share that there are two aspects of the mind. So one part is a faster mind, a quicker mind, thinking and analyzing and doing things quick. And the other aspect is a slower mind, a yogic mind, a more peaceful mind, a calm mind. Our education system and the way our society is, we have, throughout our life, we've been focused on one aspect of the mind, which is the quicker mind, the faster mind. But what about the other one? So what happens when it's a quicker mind, faster mind, think? You're always thinking and you're always doing. And this leads to a lot of times there are instances of just getting involved. You can't rest, which means some people become workaholic. Even if they want to stop, they can't. Even when they want to relax, they can't. So they have just developed one part, which is think, be quick, be fast. And this is good. You're supposed to do that. But if you don't develop the other part, which is to slow down, you're not able to control it. And this is why a lot of stress is also generated. And because of the stress, there is disease in the body and there is disease in the mind. And it is said that 80%, 75% of your diseases are psychosomatic. Most of the diseases are psychosomatic. Psycho means the mind and soma is the body. So the effect of the mind on the body begins to happen. Now, when I'm stressed out, what do? I can talk to someone and it will help me cool down. I can go watch a movie, it will help me. I can listen to music, I can be with nature, I can play with children. The stress level comes down a little bit. But what happens is, number one, in the present times, I'm not able to do all the things that I could have in order to let go of the stress. Number two, let's say I create 100 units of stress in a day, right? I'm creating 100 units of stress and I come back, I'm a little stressed, my day is over, now what do? I talk to my mother, I talk to my children, I talk to my friends, or I do something light in order to de-stress myself. So it will help me and maybe I'm able to let go of 70 units. But 30 units is still left because I get very little time to de-stress any which ways. Then the next day again, I have work, I'm with family, many things happen and naturally there will be some stress. Again, let's say there is 100 units. So again 100 units, again in the evening I try to do something I go for an evening walk, do some exercises, do something, and it helps me to manage it and I'm able to let go of, let's say 80%, 80 units. Still 20 is left. So 30 from the first day, 20 from the second day. How many? How much? 50 units. So similarly, every day I will have some sort of a stress. If I'm working and if I'm in the family, there will be something. And I'm not able to let go of it completely. So it's, and maybe every day I'm not even able to de-stress myself. Sometimes it's such a long day that I have no time to talk, I have no time for my exercise, I have no time for anything. I have no time to watch a movie, I have nothing to do. I can't do anything to de-stress. So that 100 unit is fully 100 units. And then again, the next day, again, I have 100 units. So it keeps accumulating very, very slowly. So whatever changes which I see in my body or in my nature or, what happens is not a one day actually. It's been accumulating for a long period of time, very, very slowly. And because I have just developed and I'm just focused on one part of the mind, which is thinking and doing more and thinking more and being fast, it never gets the time. I'm not able to control it. You see? And this is why you see there are so many people with a lot of stress. And especially in India, you see, why is these, diseases of the mind increasing? Because there is a lot of thoughts, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and that is not being managed properly. Because those traditional means of the way we manage it by just walking or music or dancing or talking, it is not enough to manage my past accumulated stress and whatever is happening in the fresh things that I'm doing every day. So there have been many researches, and in the research it has been found that if I am silencing my mind, if I am meditating for a short time every day, it does not involve sitting for hours and hours and getting into the caves. No. Previous stresses. Yes. So previous stresses are what? Those 20 units, 30 units every day which I accumulated, which I was not able to remove from my everyday de-stress routine. It's still there in some form, and that begins to be also removed. And slowly, so from a negative health of the mind and the body, I become neutral because I'm letting go. And then from that, I create positive. I move towards a positive lifestyle, which is both of the mind and of the body, right? So in a very short time, I am able to get those results. So while I'm saying, so we are not here to tell you don't do what you like. Keep on doing it. But check, is it enough for me to actually completely de-stress? Is it enough for me to actually remove the waste thoughts from my mind? Is it actually enough for me to let go of all the anxiety that I have created? Probably not, because I'm not giving so much. I do not have that much of time to give to those recreational activities. And this is why creating the space for yourself, developing this aspect of the mind which is quieter, which is silent, which is peaceful. Because a slow mind, a yogic mind, is a stronger mind. It's a peaceful mind. Peaceful mind is a happier mind. Creative mind. You're able to see through solutions, right? So that happens when I understand how important it is. And then there is a real balance in the lifestyle. Otherwise, I am working and doing things, and I'm always on the go. But what about how do I feel? Do I feel peaceful? Do I feel happy? Do I feel that I'm very productive? Or am I doing more and getting less? I am doing things, but I'm not feeling that energy. I am not, and nothing is happening, but still there is a lot of unnecessary things going on in my mind. Does that happen with me? So I need to check that, right? And create that balance in my life. So creating a balanced approach of quicker mind, faster mind is all right, and this is what we've been doing. This is how we've been brought up. This is what we've been taught from school, and even our parents and our teachers that this is, and we've been telling everyone to do that. You see, if you find someone sitting quietly at home also, what do you tell them? Why are you sitting? Just go, get up, do something. Unless they're looking at their mobile screens. But if someone is just trying to still their body and still their mind, people think that they are wasting time, right? But actually, no. You are recharging yourself. You are making it silent. You're making it positive, which will enable you to have much more control and really have the best thoughts, the best solutions. And that is what a yogic mind does, which means if I want to sleep, I sleep. If I have to get up, I get up. It's not that I want to sleep, I'm not able to sleep. I want to feel fresh, I'm not feeling fresh. I want to do this, but I can't do. Which I don't want to do, I'm doing that. Which means I do not have control over my own mind, control over my own self. So creating a yogic mind helps me to be more self-sovereign, which means become a ruler of the self. And this is what Raj Yoga means. Raja means the king, and yoga is the connection. So when I'm practicing Raj Yoga, I become a Raja over the self, a king of the self, right? So I'm just going to pause here, right, before we actually move on to what that I'm going to tell you all the basics of the Raj Yoga, of what is it, and we'll do some practices also. But before that, I will take a pause here. If somebody wants to ask a question or you want to say something, you're most welcome. Is there anybody who's got a question or you want to add? Please go ahead.
Uh, I am actually working in the college, ma'am, engineering college. So you know very well nowadays we are so much hectic schedule
Yes.
which is going and the online session which are going. So every time we are in front of screen is there. So lot of things which is going at the same time. But I have a habit from long ago to do meditation, and every day I am doing at least for me at least I am giving 10 to 15 minutes. So that's the thing which gives me a very positive energy throughout the day to do my work at place and as well as my at whatever the responsibility at home for children and other things are there. So again, I feel very nice very early in the morning to listen you and you are telling the things again and how really I can improve again that my thoughts and positive energy. So thank you so much, ma'am. And probably in this particular our profession really it requires this positive thoughts because we are making the students, we are making their career, and that's why it's very necessary to, as a teacher, as a being as a mother, to tell the students because your students are very grown up and very because nowadays this is a young generation, they actually reacting very fast, very fast without giving any thoughts, proper thoughts. So really required such a type of teachers to tell them and to divert their energy in a very positive mode. So really such a type of sessions is really required for our teachers. And I also appeal to all teachers, please take out our time at least for us 10 to 15 minutes. So really we will feel the throughout the day very happy and calm, and that energy keep us alive for a longer time. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving a positive energy. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience of how it helps you to deal with your professional and your personal life. And really, it is something to be experienced. So thank you for sharing that. And we have a few questions in the chat window. If there's anybody else who wants to speak or share, you're most welcome to do that. Is there anybody else who wants to share or ask? Anybody there? So then I'll start looking at the chat window. So this is, can you do this when I feel tired in my duty hours? Okay. So there are two things I'll tell you about it. Of course, you can do it when you are tired. But there are two things. Number one is that it is supposed to be practiced when I'm not very tired. Because if you will be very tired, you will feel like sleeping, right? Or you are, I'll just give you this example. Let's say you have, there are teams, professional teams, cricket teams, football teams. They don't, or any sports person, they don't practice on the field. What do? They are practicing every day. Like you have these people, the people who went to play in the Olympics games. So they are practicing every day. They are not practicing when they are in that match. So similarly, I mustn't wait for myself to get tired or to be stuck in a problem or to have there's some situation which comes up, and that's not the time to start practicing really. Though you can do, but that's not really the time. The best way is to actually do it in my normal course of life. So, as I said, I begin my day with that, even if it's for a short time, even if it's for 1 minute. Let me begin my day with that. with that silence and positive thoughts, connection with God, because that will help you to re-experience it during the day. So for example, if you've tasted something, you've tasted mango, and you can recall the taste of mango again. So if I've experienced that peace and calm, and when I'm beginning to get tired, it will be easier for me to experience that peace which I just experienced in the morning. Those thoughts which I created in the morning will enable me to quickly have those effect. And there is something that we do, and I shared an app, phone application also with you, which is, the B Zone app. And there are other apps also, but this is a free app and a very good app for your mobile phones, in which you can actually have a minute or maybe a few seconds every hour. Take a mental break. Get into a habit of taking a pause every 2 hours or every hour, even for 30 seconds or 1 minute. So which we call the traffic control of the mind. So before the traffic of thoughts in my mind actually starts to collide, and there are accidents inside, I am controlling my thoughts. Just the way you see a traffic policeman, what does he do? He'll say stop, go, and then, he will put some sort of a direction to the whole traffic. Similarly, when I stop even for 30 seconds, I am just pausing my thoughts, unnecessary, which are going on, and I allow what is supposed to go on. You see, so I develop this habit as a routine. I develop it in my normal day-to-day course of life, and then it becomes very easier to use it if there is a situation, a problem, or when I'm very tired. So don't wait to get tired to practice it. I hope I made sense and I was able to communicate what I wanted to. Yes. And there is another question which is there, is that I do this every weekend with my kids to energize myself for the next week. That's very nice. I may just add that if you're doing it every week with your kids, it's very good. Just try to do it every day. Try to do it every day, even if you're doing it for a short time. If you're doing it for 3 minutes also, that's fine. But try to do it every day. So that becomes a part of your natural thinking process. Okay? Differentiation between happiness and satisfied. Happiness is actually, happiness is more about, happiness is our real nature. The nature of the soul is happiness, right? And satisfaction is contentment. And, when I'm content, I'm happy. I experience that. What is contentment really? If you can define contentment, when I say content, is that I am okay with whatever I have. Yes? If you go and analyze what contentment is that I'm just content. Satisfaction is that I'm satisfied, I'm all right with whatever I have, all is good, everything is okay. It doesn't matter. Yes? There's a sense of acceptance when there is satisfaction. Satisfaction can only come when there is acceptance. If acceptance is not there, I may have many things or I could have done many things. I will never feel content, neither will I feel happy. So first is acceptance. When you accept things as they are, you will be content and then you will be happy. Because if you are not content, you can't be happy, because if you're not content, what are you thinking? I should have done this, I should have done that. Why are they doing this? This shouldn't have happened. So there is a lot of what should happen or what should not have happened, many thoughts going on. And so if there is a lot of thoughts going on, it will never allow me to feel content, neither experience my original quality of happiness. Does that make sense? Yes? So this is why I am not able to be happy. So first is the process of acceptance. I just simply accept people as they are, my past, my body, whatever things as they are, first of all, I accept. And the moment you accept, instead of being very critical, you'll begin to see things are not that bad. People are not that bad. Your life is not that bad. Situations are not that bad. Right? And I begin to feel, I count this is what you say, count your blessings. You will be content and you will be happier. And with this happy state of mind, because happiness again is a great energy. A happy mind can do a lot of work, can do many things, can be very creative. And with the happy mind, you can actually be more efficient. If my mind is unhappy, you will experience a weak mind is an unhappy mind. A strong mind is a happy mind. Happiness of the mind is a sign that your mind is strong. I'm not talking about outwardly happiness. I'm talking about happiness of the mind is the sign of a strong mind. Only a strong-minded person with a strong mind can only be happy in the mind. Otherwise, people may appear to be happy. They may appear to look that they have a lot, they've achieved a lot, but inside they are not happy. Inside they're not content. Inside there is a storm going on. They're quite empty. But a strong person with a strong mind will be happy in the mind and will be more efficient, will be able to deal with things and actually respond to situations which we talked earlier on. Yes? So does that answer your question of satisfaction and happiness? So if I talk about the process, it's more about acceptance, contentment, and happiness. And happiness is my true original nature, just like peace. And I'll be just sharing that part of the Raj Yoga just after we take up these questions, and then I'll move towards it and I'll show you that as well. Yes, does that make sense? So there is another thing which I have. I do exercise every morning, but go outside every weekend. More and more energy, fair enough. So any other question before we move forward? There was one question which I had. Is there any other question, anything else which you want to add before I move forward, anyone? Yeah, there is something which is, yeah. So somebody said, eating non-veg food is against biodiversity or any other reason. So you all know that the world is turning vegan, and I'm not here to preach you what you should eat, what you should not. You should decide for yourself. We all have our intellects and we have been given a choice. So you have to choose what you do. But why, how your food affects your mind, that I'll tell you. So whatever we eat, how we eat, affects our thinking. For example, if you're watching television and if you're eating, let's say you're watching news. What sort of news are we watching? Let's say you're watching something which is violent or something which is very, very, which makes you aggressive. That's going on the screen, and you're eating food. Even if you're eating a vegetarian food, that's not sattvic. There's something called sattvic and rajasic and tamasic. I am sure you all know that. Those three the three types of food. But if I'm eating something which the ingredients are sattvic, but I'm not eating in the right sattvic manner, it is not going to have the sattvic effect. You see, if I'm not cooking it in the right manner, if I'm angry and I'm frustrated and I'm just cooking the food, so I'm giving that anger into that food. Just that, like you offer food to God, you offer food, and that food becomes a high energy food because of the prayers, because of your good thoughts, of the good vibes. And when you accept it, you take it as something which is very, it's an offering. It's very precious. It gives you a good energy because it's not just food. It is it's like a prasad. It's very highly elevated. So similarly, what has happened really is that while you're cooking it, if you're preparing an offering to God, while you're preparing it, you're conscious, you're clean, not just in the body but also your mind. You're remembering, you're cooking, you're offering. So you see the whole thought process, the whole energy that you're creating. And this is why not just the food, the ingredients of the food, but the way and how it is being consumed, the way that it is cooked is all very, very important. I'll give you a very simple and a very gross example. It's a very gross example. Let's say there is a fruit. Okay, there is a fruit. Now, fruit is a very sattvic, very fresh food. Nobody will argue with that, right? Everybody accepts a fruit is the best thing to eat, you see. So if that fruit is kept inside, let's say, a temple or a mosque or some place which is sacred, if that fruit is kept and if you're eating it, what is the sort of energy that you feel? Let's say, eating those grapes, let's say you're eating those grapes, you're having those grapes. Even one or two grapes while you're holding those grapes give you those great energy. Yes, sacred energy, higher energy. Let's say you're eating those same grapes outside on a road. There is some chaatwala, somebody who's selling some fruit chaat, and he's putting those grapes there and you're picking up and eating it. It's the same food, but you see the energy that you are, that when you're taking it from a sacred place and then you're picking up from somewhere, from the roadside, from somebody who's selling, right? Now, taking it further, if there is a place where people are drinking, it's a bar, and there are many, many people, different sorts, they're all sitting, and there is a bowl of grapes kept there. And if somebody eats those grapes, and if you're picking and eating, you see the difference of the energy. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense? So, food affects the mind. And sattvic food means the ingredients are sattvic, number one. Plus, it's being cooked in the sattvic way and it is being consumed in the sattvic way, which helps me to have a calmer and a more stable mind. And of course, that is a more natural way of living, which you talk about biodiversity and my inner nature, everything is in, order. I hope that makes sense to the person who asked the question. Yes, I hope that made sense. Yes. Now I'm going to just move forward, and because I understand that we've got more time right now. Yes, so I'm going to move forward and actually tell you how some of the basics of the Raj Yoga. Let me just share the screen with you. Okay. So now the basic thing is, the first and foremost, the most important thing is the question of understanding myself who am I really? So how do I understand myself? What is the awareness that I have for myself? So who am I? Am I just the body, right? Or am I just the work that I do? What is it? Who am I really? This is something which is very important. So when I say I'm just, what do I say? I say I'll tell my name, I'll tell my address, the work that I do, I'll talk about my family. But the question is, who are you? Who am I? I'm not answering that. I'm talking about my name is this, my family is this, my address is this, my job is this. Question is, who are you? So, very basically, what do I say? Well, I am just a human being. And human being comes from two words, human and the being. Human comes from the word humus. And you know what humus is? Humus is means soil. It is the last layer. I'm sure you're aware. It is the last layer of the earth, and it's called humus. And the human comes from that. The being part is the soul. So as somebody was saying, so body and the soul together gives you the human being, right? Now I need to understand, who am I? Am I the soul or am I the body? You see, I am a being separate from the body. The body is my vehicle, and I'm using the senses to go about my day-to-day work. It's a simple example is the body is like a car and the soul is the driver. But if something happens, for example, there's a car and a driver. Now you are taking care of the car. Your car is always full with diesel or petrol. Your tires are always okay. Everything is good. But you're not taking care of the driver. Your driver is hungry and tired and sleepy. How do you think your journey will be? You may be in the best car. You may be in a BMW. Your car is the best car. It's very nice. But your driver is tired. Your driver is hungry. How do you think he will drive the car? What is going to happen? What's going to happen? There are going to be accidents. So this is why the driver is very important. The car is important, but more important is the driver. So I have to take care of the car for sure, but then I have to pause on my way and give driver a break, give him some tea, some rest, some snacks. Unless I do that, I will not be able to go on a long journey. For short journeys, it's fine. My life also is a long journey. If I do not consider the soul, the health of the soul, the well-being of the soul, I am a soul, and I'm just taking care of my body and my bodily needs and my bodily relationships, I will see that even you will find people who are healthy, who have everything all right, but inside, the reason is this. So I understand first of all that I am not the body, I am the owner, the living energy, the living entity inside the body. That is the living energy, which you may call the consciousness or the soul. And the soul, like the body has got 5 organs in order to experience this physical, the physical world. The soul has got 3 faculties in order to function. So the soul is just a point of light in the center of the forehead. The three faculties are: the first is the mind, the second is the intellect, and the third is our register, which is a sanskar. You know. Now, in Hindi, we call it the man, buddhi, and sanskar. And English, we call it the mind, the intellect, and the sanskar. So, mind is not the brain, by the way. Brain is physical. Mind is part of the metaphysical. The intellect and the sanskar. Now, let's just understand what it is, and we'll just practice it also after a while. Now, you have the mind. What is the mind really? How do you know what's happening in the mind? The experience of the present moment. Mind is basically your thoughts, your desires, your feelings. That's your mind. So, whatever you're feeling is actually, if you feel stable, if you feel peaceful, meaning you have such thoughts in your mind at that time. The intellect is what? The intellect is the one who's experimenting. Our intellect is the decision maker, the one who decides what should be on the mind. And the sanskars, it's basically our recorded experiences, our memories, our habits, our tendencies, they're all recorded. So basically, whatever I'm seeing, hearing, reading, doing, all of that is recorded inside of me, in the soul, which is in the form of sanskars. So the sanskars will help both the mind and the intellect, right? So and how does this function? We need to understand, sometimes we say there is a conflict. There's a conflict inside me. What does it mean? You are one, then why do you have two voices? Because my mind is telling me something and my intellect is telling me something else. And when my mind and my intellect is together, I can actually have an experience. And that is what is called concentration. That is what is called focus. You see? And it is at that time where I'm not wasting any of my thought energy also. Yes? Now, for example, how does it happen? Just understand the mind, intellect, and the sanskar. I'll give you one example. We give this example. Let's say, God forbid, you go to a hospital and you get your sugar level tested. And if the doctor tells me that your sugar levels are very high, you should stop eating sugar. Everything which is sweet, don't eat. And you've got this thing from the doctor that for the next 6 months, don't eat anything sweet. Your sugar levels are very high. Otherwise, you know what will happen. Now, you have a sweet tooth. You like sweets. And you come back from the doctor with your prescription, with your sugar levels note of how high your sugar levels are. And when you reach home, you find your dining table is filled with things which are your favorite. Let's say you like sweets, so it has got gulab jamuns and jalebis and whatever you like. Whatever is your favorite, you can think about it. All of that is kept on the dining table, and your aunt or somebody has made it for you. And it's all fresh. And if you really like sweets, all your favorite things are on the table. Now, the moment you will see the dining table and it's all being made for you, what is the first thought that will come to your mind? What is going to be? What is the first thought that will come to your mind? The first thought will come, wow, let me just eat one, right? Because it's all made for you, and you like it. And the moment you see, naturally, my first thought will be to pick up and eat. What is the second voice which comes? That no, you should not eat. You've just visited the doctor. So the first one is the natural thought which comes when I look at things. The second one, the second voice, the inner voice actually is my intellect. I've just got the gyan from the doctor that no, don't eat it. You are not supposed to eat anything sweet. Now, what happens? Why does the mind create this thought? Because it's got that memory of that sweetness of it has tasted it before. It's still in the record. It's in the recorded experiences. So that enables it to say, I want to eat it. The intellect is also, the gyan is there. Now, I have to see who wins in the end. Is it the mind or is it the intellect? Do I end up eating the sweet, or do I, do I just listen to the intellect? If I will listen to the intellect, my intellect will become stronger. My willpower will become stronger. If I will listen to the mind, जिसे हम कहते हैं in Hindi we say मन मर्जी, going according to my wishes of the mind, then my mind will become stronger. Not stronger, but it will take me to many places. If I eat sweet at that time, no problem. In the evening again, you'll find an opportunity. Your guest, your neighbor will give you something, you will go somewhere, and then there will be no control, right? So I need to see who's winning in these processes. It was just a very simple example, but it happens in every sphere of my life, every little thing. So who is actually winning, the intellect or the mind? If the intellect wins, which means you'll have a control over the mind, you will have a more stable life, because you are able to steer your mind in the way you want to. Correct? Let's just do a little exercise, mental exercise, not physical, mental exercise of how these three are actually working, right? How these three, mind, intellect, and sanskars are actually working. And this is the method that we use in meditation, very simply, okay? So I want you all to sit back. Okay, it's a very simple mental exercise. I just want you to sit back wherever you are. So definitely you should not be moving. So just sit back, and whatever I tell you, you just have to think simply. If you want, you can keep your eyes open. If you want, keep your eyes closed, up to you. So now I just want you to think about your home where you were brought up, your childhood home, where you were brought up. And stand in front of the gate of your home. So wherever it is, in whichever cities, just see yourself standing in front of the gate of your home. Now get inside the gate, go to the door, open the door, go inside, take a few steps, look towards the left, what's kept, look towards the right, take a few more steps, and find your most favorite place to sit. Maybe it's a sofa or a chair or a divan, whatever it is, just find a place and sit. The place which you really liked, you really felt comfortable, just find that and sit. And just check how you're feeling. Now, right in front of you, there is a cup. It is white in color and it is hot because you can see steam coming from the cup. You pick that cup. You can feel that the cup is hot. Bring it towards your nose, smell it. Maybe there is some tea or coffee in it, whatever you like. And smell the tea or the coffee. And now take a sip. Take a sip and put the cup back and come back. Okay? So, fair enough, all of you are there? Are you all back or you are not back? So just come back. Now, my question to you is, how many of you actually could see the main gate of your home? You actually went and you could actually see the main door. Yes or no, if you did it? Okay. Let's say one person is there. Okay. I hope others also were present. Yes. You could see, walk in, look towards the left, look towards the right, found a place. Okay. How many could feel that the cup was hot? Now tell me, how many, what did you drink actually? What was the drink? Was it tea? Was it coffee? Was it, you know, what was it really? Tea, coffee, or milk, or sugar, without sugar? Just write down. It was a sweet coffee, it was a black coffee, it was without sugar. Just write down. Please write down. Easy thing. Just share what you just had. You know, you're on this online meeting, so just write down whatever you had. So tea and ragi milkshake together. Okay. A cup of coffee with, okay, a general cup of coffee. Anybody else? Without sugar. Okay. So yours was a sweet coffee without sugar. Fair enough. It was a strong tea which you like. Very nice. Keep writing. Just share quickly. Another 30 seconds. Just let's share quickly. Whatever you had, a sweet coffee, a black coffee, or a chai with sugar, without sugar, whatever it is, just write. Coffee is there, okay. Fair enough. Anything else? Just keep writing quickly. Yes. Anybody else? Green tea. Okay, somebody had a green tea also. Okay, nice. Okay. Anybody else? Just anybody who wants to add, you can keep adding and we will know what you had. So you see, somebody had a green tea, somebody had coffee, some had sugar, some had ragi milk, some ragi shake, you know, different things had. People had. Oh, somebody had lemon tea also. Nice. Very nice. So the thing is, what did I drink? I had hot water. I had hot water. Now, you know, why we did this exercise, it's actually to understand how our mind, our intellect, and our sanskars are working. Now, another question to you is, when you were doing this process, this little exercise, were there any waste thoughts? Would you say, I wanted to do things, I wanted to do that? Were there any waste thoughts? No. There'll be no waste thoughts. And whatever you know, see what was happening, all this is recorded in you. So you have seen your home, you have seen your main door, you have sat on that chair, you have had the experience of eating a lemon, drinking tea, and mostly it will be the taste of the recent tea or coffee which you had, right? The last tea or coffee which you had. So your tea, your coffee, your lemon tea, whatever it is, it's all there. So where is it? It's recorded in you. Every experience is there. You see? Now what's happening is the intellect gives the command, think about the main door, right? Now, think about the main door, and when you say it's already recorded. So in the sanskar, so the image of that door comes up. Now your mind, your intellect gives the order, go inside, look towards the right, towards the left. It's all recorded. So it's the sanskar is presenting and the images are coming onto the screen of the mind, because the mind is like a screen and images come. Now, whatever you felt at that time is the same feeling which will reoccur, right? And you could even feel hot or cold. You can smell if you really want to, and you can actually taste. So you could taste whether it's a hot tea, a cold tea, or coffee, whatever it is. You did that, right? Now, what has happened is you have actually used all your sense organs to see, smell, touch, taste, right? And could maybe hear also. So you can experience anything if you want to, just by using your mind, intellect, and sanskaras. And you're actually doing it all the time. Like when you're recalling some event which you felt hurt, when you were insulted, some bad feelings, you recreate those feelings again and again, right? So something happened 10 years back, and if you think about it, you will suddenly start to feel angry. Suddenly. Because you've recreated those feelings. And we use this when we understand that I am a soul, and I, the soul, have got these three faculties. This is how they are functioning. I have a record, mine is the screen, and the intellect can, tell what to think, what not to think. Then I use the same understanding in my meditation also. So first is the understanding of who I am, and then using it. So in meditation, what I'm doing in Raj Yoga, I am now creating the thought of, connected with myself. Connect with yourself, who you are as a soul, peaceful and calm. So you begin to experience that energy, because originally I am peaceful, happy, loveful. That also is recorded in you. Just as you have recorded the taste of the tea, just as you have recorded your main door image in your sanskara, naturally your original sanskaras of peace, love, happiness is also recorded in you. So you don't have to seek it. You don't have to look for it. You simply have to command and it's there. Make sense? Yes? So knowing what is, so could you understand how the intellect and the sanskara work? The intellect and the mind and our sanskaras are working. So, right, so I'll just move forward. I think I have stopped sharing, so I'll just share a little bit more, and then we can have more questions before we close. Make sense? So what is happening really is the effect of the consciousness that I have through the day. So what is the state of consciousness? Consciousness simply is awareness. How do I know what I am? What is the state of the consciousness? Is the word that I use after I say I am. So whatever I say, I am. So if I say I'm tired, or I am a weak person, I am a strong woman, that is my state of consciousness at that time. And throughout the day, I have different types of consciousness through the day. It keeps changing. As is the state of the consciousness, so will be my mental and emotional state. This is how I will feel and think. As is my mental and emotional state, so will be my attitude. That is how I will position myself. And so will be my vision. That is how I will act. And that's the world that I create for myself, which again will give me with the return that, my state of consciousness. And in Hindi, we call it स्मृति, जैसी स्मृति वैसी, वैसे मेरे विचार, वैसी वृत्ति, that is attitude, वैसी दृष्टि, वैसी कृति, which means action, and वैसी सृष्टि, that means the world. You see, I am staying in the world. You're going to talk about waste management, a lot of other things. So we are talking about the world. And in the Brahma Kumaris, we also talk about the world. We must understand we are in the world together. We may be in the same home together, in the same office. But my world will be different from your world. It will be different from your children's world. So though we are in a world, but I have created my own world also for my own self, depending on my consciousness, depending the way of how I feel, I think, what's my attitude, what I do. I am creating a world for myself. And if I want to make any change in my world, what should I do? Of course, I should be doing, I should be seeing, but the root of it is my consciousness, right? So I'm just going to give a quick, simple example of how it works. Let's say, when I am conscious of my physical identity, and I've got this example of the situation of my son disobeys me, and it could be anything. We can put anything here. And if I think I'm a physical identity, I'm a physical body, what do I think I am? I am the father or the mother of this rebel child, right? Because that's my role and this is what I think I am. And if I think I'm the father of this rebel child, and the son is not listening, what do I think? What do I feel? Anger. So I'll feel angry. How will I position myself? That, you have to obey me. I'm your father, or I'm your boss, or I'm your manager, or I'm your teacher. You have to listen to me. And now again, you have to, and this person again appears in front of you. You will not see the person's qualities. You'll see this is completely disloyal, disobedient children. They don't listen. And if this is your vision, you're already angry, this is your attitude, this is your vision. What is the next step? What would you do? You will threaten them, you will hit them, or take some strong action. And that will be very strong. Will it have any effect? It will have the effect of making my relationships more complicated, wasting my time and energy, and sometimes money also. And the son will not become obedient, even if I threaten him or hit him. He is not going to become obedient. And this again will give me that same consciousness. But if I have the same situation, let's say, and if I have the spiritual identity, I'm more aware of myself as a soul, as a being of light, peaceful, content, happy, pure. And how do I see that I am a soul? Then he also is a soul. He's also a pure soul. He's also a peaceful soul. And the father and the son are our roles, or the teacher and the student are just our roles. They are students, but they are souls also. They are internally, actually they are peaceful and pure. And this is just a role that we are playing. If I have this consciousness, I'll not be angry, but I'll feel compassion of why are they not listening? Why is he not able to do what I'm trying to tell him? And what is going to be my attitude? Earlier it was my way or the highway. You have to listen. But now what happens? It's more about the posture of an understanding father, an understanding teacher, an understanding mother, right? You're trying to understand why is this person not able to follow instruction? Is there some problem? Do they have, let's talk about a teacher classroom, scenario. if this person is not listening, is there a problem at his home? Does he have some problem with some relationships? There's some problem with the background. What is it? We don't know. Even with children, we don't know. They are children, but they have their own stresses. So posture of an understanding father or a colleague or a mother. And then how do I look at that person? Now when I see that person, I'm not just seeing that he's completely useless, but I'm seeing that he also has some good qualities. And there's an opportunity to learn from him also. He's not completely useless, right? And when I have this vision, I'm compassionate. I think I'm a soul, he's also a soul. I'm not angry. What is the action? The action will be that I will have a conversation, friendly conversation. Now, mind you what a friendly conversation is. A friendly conversation means that I am not just speaking sweetly, but I am there to listen also. Sometimes we say, I have told these people so many times, but they're not listening, which is good. But have I listened to what exactly is the problem? Have I given a ear to actually listen? So, a conversation means two-way communication. So, I'll not be just telling, but I will be also ready to listen. And then fair chances are, that the relationship will improve. You know, my son might begin to be more loyal, the children might begin to be more understanding, they'll try to act, maybe try to follow. If I repeat it again and again, of course, maybe not in the first go, but that is the only way, right? So when I'm doing Raj Yoga, when I'm working on my consciousness, it's not just about that I feel happy, I feel peaceful when I'm doing meditation, but I use that consciousness in my work while I'm interacting, and it enables me to improve the world that I have created for myself, right? So, quick two things I will share, and then I will pause for questions, and then we will end with a short meditation, right? So there are three things that I need to be detached when I'm sitting for meditation. Number one is my body. I'm not thinking about my body, objects or senses, things around me. Number two is my role, which means my relationships and responsibilities. If I'm sitting and I'm just thinking what I have to do, what are my responsibilities, is it being soul conscious or is it body conscious? Because my roles are there till the time I'm in the body. But I am beyond my roles. I am beyond my relationships and responsibilities. I am a soul. I'm a being. I'm full of peace and happiness. And the third thing that I need to get detached from is the story of my life, the events and experiences. Sometimes we sit and I'm thinking, okay, what happened? How people betrayed me, how people treated me. I have done so much, nobody understands. All these things are going on, or good or bad. Again, this is not being soul conscious, this again is body conscious, which means I think my journey is not just about this small, events or experiences. I am much more beyond that. And I become soul conscious, right? And when I become soul conscious, then I connect my mind to the Supreme Being, which has been remembered in different faiths by different names and different, they call out, but he's also the higher being, or the Supreme or God is also a being of light. Because I, the soul, am a point of light, the spiritual energy, and the Supreme God is also a being of light. He's also a being, and he is the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, happiness, purity, truth. I, the soul, I'm limited, but God is remembered as the ocean of love, the ocean of peace. So in Raj Yoga, what am I doing? I also can cultivate a relationship with God, that He is my father, my teacher, my guide. God is my friend, right? So, uh, 4 questions that I can just ask is that who I am, where have I come from, and what is my real identity, my real original nature. So meditate is actually just simply to remember. In a very layman term, I'm just remembering. So what am I remembering? Who I am, where have I come from, what is my original state, and my connection and relationship with God. Very simply, I am able to remove what's going on in my mind and create this sense of being connected with who my real identity is. And that consciousness enables me to change my world for the better and also change the world for the other people as well. Yes. So before we close we've got about 10 minutes. Is there a question that you have? I'll be happy to answer. Is there a question? Anybody wants to say something? And because after this, we will close with a few minutes of meditation. No questions, nothing. So should we end with a few moments of meditation? Yes, did you understand how everything is working, right? So what do I really do is in meditation is I detach from wasteful thinking, I connect with God, and I interact meaningfully, and I become that quality. Okay, so again, let's just sit. There is a question, why BK people will not marry? I think people get married. Sister Shivani is very famous. She's married. She stays at home. Okay. So any question related to meditation? And if you want to know about BKs, I'll give you my number, or I'll give you the number of your connected center. You can get there and ask questions. But we have, time is limited, therefore it's not possible to answer all your questions. Yes, please, quickly, one question somebody's saying. If you have a question, please type. Okay, so we will, so may I just continue forward because my time is limited. Okay, so suppress or express anger. I'll just give you one example. If you get angry, if you are angry, you will, how you are expressing it is more important. When you're sharing your thoughts, let's say you're being affirmative and you're speaking your mind in a composed manner, that will give you the right results. If you get angry, it will not make you happy, neither will it give you any result. So this is why it is said that when you're angry, don't speak, don't do anything, don't call anyone, don't type any email, because you will regret. You might use words which will hurt others and which might hurt yourself as well. So if you're really angry, just cool down, take a glass of water, take a pause, write down if you want to. When you've written down, you're very clear of what you want to communicate, be very rational, and then express it. Otherwise, anger is not going to take us anywhere, because anger is also a sign of weakness, that somebody has was able to take away my happiness. Somebody was able to disturb me. But if I am stable, if I am cool, that's a sign of a stronger mind, right? So I will not say suppress, and neither I will say express anger, neither of it, if you ask me. But I will say that express it rationally and calmly of why is it that what are the things that are making you angry. So take time, cool yourself down where both the parties are at peace and then talk about it. Okay, makes sense. And don't suppress it also. For example, it's happening every day. So every time you're getting irritated, how will it's every time coming in front. So you have to see, you have to take a best foot forward. And this is where these practices help you. Because if you're stable, you're able to also see through things much more clearly. Now, there is a question, and that is the last question I will take up. I want to forget the negative thoughts, but it still comes. How to overcome this? I'll tell you something again of the mind, which I'm sure you must be knowing. That if I tell you, let's say another exercise, a quick one, all of you just sit back and whatever I tell you, you have to think about that. Okay, just listen to the instructions. So I don't want you to think about bananas, the yellow bananas that you have, which you open and you eat. So I don't want you to think about bananas at all. Okay? Please don't think about bananas. And what will happen if you're actually listening to me? What comes first to your mind? It will be a banana. If I tell you don't think about the orange, the first thing will be the orange. The more I tell you don't think about it, it will become bigger and bigger. Because our mind does not take the word no. If I say, I don't want to think about this person, I just don't want to think about him. What I'm really doing is I'm thinking more about that person or that situation. So a simple method not to think about a banana is to simply think about apples or grapes. If I'm thinking about grapes, I'm not thinking about bananas. So I need to replace my thoughts. So what is it that I must be doing? I should have a plan, my routine for the day. What do I want to feel? Give yourself those positive affirmations. Create time for silence. Have a proper, plan for your day and plan for your mind every day. Right? And this will enable you to get rid of those thoughts. If you just sit and just say, I don't want to think about that person or that situation, you are giving that more energy and that those thoughts will become more. But if you keep pouring every day some positive thoughts, just like if you have a bucket of water, it just is filled with dirty water. What begins to happen? If you just put it under a tap, at some point the whole dirty water will be transferred and you will just have clean water instead of that. Okay? So that is our last question and we have 3 minutes. So I will just request all of you to sit back. Let me just find the copy for this. Let me just move here. And I will request all of you to just sit back for a few moments, just for 2 minutes. And ask yourself a question. Who am I really? What is my real identity? I am a being of light, separate from this body, from the roles that I play, my relationships, and even separate from the events and the experiences which happened in my life. I am much more beyond that. I am a soul, peaceful, light, happy, and pure. I am powerful. I remember my original home, the home of light, and I remember my original state as a being of light without action, words, expectations. And I see myself in front of God, who's also a being, a star like me, but full of peace and love, and always shining like the sun. And I take this opportunity to let go of the burdens of my mind and experience the peace and the divinity of God. Just for a few moments, I hold myself like this. And as and when I'm ready, I come back, that I know who I am. I know that I'm peaceful. I know my real self, and I carry this consciousness in my daily life. I may choose to do it just for 5 minutes every day, and make a difference in my world. Thank you, and Om Shanti. So just that these are the apps which I had shared. I hope that this was fruitful. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very good training and everything good ahead.
Thank you so much, sister. I don't have words to express my gratitude on behalf of all of us, on my personal behalf, to you for being here today. And we had started with waste management, plastic waste management, but what we ended up today is that managing the wasteful thoughts, and that is indeed a wonderful feeling for all of us. And I am sure all the participants here must have benefited a lot from this, and they'll end up using this in their daily lives, so that we start to respond to situations rather than react to them, so that we begin to live in harmony, in peace with ourselves, and so that this whole world becomes happier, healthier. We have good relationships, healthy relationships, and we are mindful of everything that we do. Thank you so much for being in this session. We
Thank
look
you.
forward to have you again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vishu.